Hello guys, today we will be diving into Lemon Zest Cookie, a cookie that is pretty underpowered, but I still think deserves a guide because a lot of people like playing him and I think his playstyle is pretty fun. So let's jump right in. So Lemon Zest is a cookie that's built around charging up a gauge that is above his head, and then by charging up this gauge, you can then do a charge attack that's a bunch of really fast attacks, approximately 10 attacks per second, that range from 41% to 44% in damage. So his basic attack has 74% scaling and it gives you 4% towards this gauge. And then his skill has 88% scaling 5 times, and his AoE and gives you 27.5 charge. And then his ultimate does 1050, which is the same as a Molotov skill, which is kind of sad considering that Molotov can do her skill more often, and it gives you 18% charge towards his gauge. Approximately every 18 seconds, you will be able to do 4.5 seconds of charge attacks on Lemon Zest, and that is pretty bad considering the fact that you are sitting on field for 18 seconds and you're only able to do your main form of DPS for like the 0 time. It's pretty bad, but it's whatever. He's a good cookie, and we're good. I mean, he's a cookie, and we're gonna get into him. For Lemon Zest, his best installed equipment is the Lightning Recurve, but you can always run epics. We will get into that in a second. And then for his sets, his best set, in my opinion, for DPS over time is Sugar Feather, and then his best set for coming on field and nuking is the Solar Knight set. Now, for Lemon Zest, like, stats, you're going to want to be shooting for around 70% crit rate to, like, 210% crit damage. I would say that's a pretty good ratio to shoot for. If you do lack a little bit in one, make sure to lack a little bit in both, because it is better just to build into a little bit of each. But generally, I would say you want around 70% crit rate and 210 crit damage. Don't worry about overinvesting. It's always good to overinvest into these, but that is like the baseline. Always be aware you can go into attack. You can go into a light attack, right? You can always go into elemental attacks. They are good. You can also go into elemental damage. Everything is good. So once you get to that 70 to 210, I would say you can build into any stat, and they do around the same anyways. Now with Epic Gear, as I just said, you want to be building this ratio. So to be able to get that ratio, what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to go for the pieces that I'm going to show on screen. These pieces get you closer to that ratio, and they're just good in general. They are pieces with crit rate, crit damage, and attack percent unique abilities. And epic pieces are generally easier to build because you only have to build into one hidden power. By the way, when rolling your hidden power to achieve this ratio, you're going to want to make sure that you are using lightning scrolls, because if you're not using the lightning scrolls, then you're going to have a bit of a problem. And yes, I know I called it lightning. Bear with it. It is light. For artifacts, his best installed artifact is in fact the Piercing Light. I do think at high levels, right, at high stars, Sunset Pursuit is very good. I do not say it's better than his actual signature artifact, because I do think his signature artifact is kind of busted, but it's always a good choice. So if you have a high star Sunset Pursuit and you do have like only 1 star of his artifact, just like put it on cherry. Not biased at all. Other good artifacts, if you do not have these, include Warrior's Oath and Lonesome Moonlight. They are very good. I'd recommend using them. They're pretty busted. If you can, proc the passive, which is on Warrior's Oath, having multiple white cookies on your team, and then Lonesome Moonlight, you want to be low HP. But if you can proc those passives, they are really good. So now, how do you play Lemon Zest, right? He's like, playing Lemon Zest is going to be kind of weird, right? Because you have this gauge that you have to worry about it, right? And not a lot of people are going to know how to manage that, right? And that's okay. So what you're going to do, right, is first of all, if you are running him on his artifact, right, you're going to want to do a normal attack into a charge attack to proc his artifact. If you do not proc his artifact, you're losing that attack increase, which is very huge. Then after you do that normal attack into charge attack, you're going to use your ultimate and your skill, and then you're going to start doing a couple, like maybe like 1 or 2 normal attacks, then you can use your charge attack, and then in your downtime, just do normal attacks, and then use your charge attack, and make sure you use your skill and your ultimate once they are off cooldown, and to make sure to just be using your charge attack so that you can keep your artifact 100% of the time, because that 40% attack increase is very good. Now that the guide is over, guys, you guys have a bit of a problem in your hands, right? You see this guy right here, right? This guy right here. If you don't like and subscribe, I'll hurt him. See y'all later. Bye.